I am live. Hopefully everyone can hear me. All my little buttons are going on. Yep. Okay. Hi. I'll try not to touch any buttons tonight. Hello. Happy Friday. It's been a week again. It is the summer solstice. Oh, Master, don't know if Eric was here last week, but Eric is like, as is Handy and many others, he's pretty much every weeker. He's been here since the beginning, actually, even before the beginning of me doing live streams. So, as has Handy, as has most of the other crew. Amazingly enough, we had 238 people. They were all hiding, but we had 238 viewers or lurkers last week. So that was pretty awesome. I was shocked as hell when I came off the live stream and saw that. Hi, Captain. Hello, Miss Hum. And Aftershock, hello. Happy Friday, everybody. So, as I was saying, we had 238 viewers last Friday. That's pretty amazing. Yeah, pretty cool. And we had a lot of new people chatting, which I loved as well. So today is the summer solstice, and that's a pretty awesome thing too. It is the longest day of the year for the Northern Hemisphere. Haktua. Hello, Mr. Dawson. Happy Friday to you. And Andy, you're just mad because you weren't first. Anyway, it is the solstice, and as I said, longest day of the year. This is actually the earliest that the summer solstice has happened since the 1700s. Kind of interesting. And this is also the day where the sun rises and sets in perfect alignment with Stonehenge. So, hello, Three Dogs. I just messaged you. Thank you for stopping in. It's good to see you, and I hope you're having a blast. Um, sounds like you probably are having a wonderful time. Am I back? Did it work? I'm here. Do y'all see me? Sometimes I hate. Yay. Okay, cool. All right. So I figured out also how to do this so that I don't have to start a whole new screen. Well, hey, Mikhail, you snuck in. Hello. So anyway, so yeah, I figured out a way to do this so that I don't have to start a whole new stream. So I'm excited about that. Anyway, going back to the cabin. So this coming week, I'm going to be building or rebuilding the shed that all of the electrical equipment is in for the solar. So not sure if I'll be able to do the Friday live stream. I have, like I said, a carpenter friend coming to help me so that we can bust it out as quick as possible. But we'll see. And hello, Bramley. Hello to you, sir, out there in England and so many hours ahead of us. So anyway, so that's the deal. Huge thank you to both Three Dogs and to Captain for their buy me a cup of coffee donations last week. That was very, very sweet and very, very much appreciated. And Captain, thank you for the birthday present. That was surprising. So I very much. I'm back again. Obviously, YouTube is having some major issues today because I'm not. Everything, it tells me what my connection is, and it's saying that I am have an excellent connection. So it's obviously not on my end, but that's not really surprising now, is it? Anyway, I'm sure all of those frozen moments look horrific. So I apologize to you for that. So yeah, so they're never gonna drop the debt. down, I don't think, as Eric, I believe, said, until there's a reset. Yeah, no, Handy, I don't think so. Um, I don't think that I am too hot for YouTube, but I appreciate that. There are a lot of women on YouTube who are very, very hot, and, um, not that I watch most of those channels, but, I've seen them. Anyway, so lots of cabin work, and that's gotta be the priority, unfortunately, especially with everything that's going on. Um, yes, definitely have a good credit score. So, thank you, Captain. Speaking of money and all of that good stuff, President Vladimir Zelensky says he is counting on another 440 billion from the U.S. We better not send him that damn money. I hope we don't send him that money or send him anything in value. Not until we get anything back from them. Drops, I don't know if you heard me say hello to you, but hello to you. We really need to get some money back from them before we actually give them any more. I mean, again, as was pointed out, we're $37 trillion in debt. Our interests are a trillion at a time. Exactly, master. And we need to do something to stop all this, and I just don't see it happening. Unfortunately, the big beautiful bill is uh not so beautiful in a lot of ways. As I said before, the cuts come towards the end of the bill, and unfortunately that's not something that's guaranteed. So um yes, Bramley, a ton of it is. You're absolutely right. Let's see. So yeah, Zelensky says he's counting on another 40 billion. Why don't you get it from Europe? Go ahead and get it from Europe, from the EU. Um, they're so gung ho on all of this. Why don't you get it from them? Let's see. Thought this was kind of fun. An appeals court has said that Trump can keep control of California's National Guard's troops. A judge panel of the Ninth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, which usually does not rule in Trump's favor. All right, am I moving now? Hopefully, I'm moving now. I'm about over this and over YouTube. Good. Thank you, Mr. Dawson, and thank you, Eric. Um, I actually have a abscess in my tooth, and so I am on some hefty medication at the moment. Um, Captain, I actually can reboot right from here without losing the live stream. It sucks. And I apologize. It's not me. It keeps telling me I have an excellent connection, and I apologize to everybody for this. I don't know what's going on. Drops, I don't blame you. That sounds yummy. Can't log in the app. Not working properly. Have you? I apparently have aftershock. I have apparently seriously pissed off YouTube. Um, and yes, Mr. Dawson, there have been a lot of flares in the last week or so. I know I've heard that. Uh, read it somewhere actually. Anyway, so apparently the FBI, Captain, I am, but in pain, but I'm dealing with it primarily herbally until I can get into the doctor. But I did have to take a pain pill, so I'm a little woozy. Anyway, so yeah, so they had a whistleblower came forward and showed statements and proof that China and Iran meddled in the election, but it was disappeared in 2021. Shocking. Toothache is horrific. I agree, aftershock. It is one of the worst things. I actually was at the point where I was thinking maybe it would be a good idea just to do like the old timers do and, stick the pliers there and whack it with a mallet, but I'm not gonna do that, obviously. Shit hits the fan, we need all the teeth we have. So, I know, Eric, it's just shocking that these things are happening. However, on to another fun subject. Um, I've actually been using clove, Mr. Dawson, and clove has, really been, helping a lot, and clove is actually known for its, um, tooth, properties, and a little bit of tea tree oil to as an antiseptic. So, but we'll get there. I'll get it fixed. Um, one of our favorites, and I seriously hope this lady is a front runner of the party and she is just shoved in everybody's face because she is going to, yes, Eric, exactly. Clove works amazingly. Because this woman is just going to absolutely blow up the party sooner or later. Jasmine Crockett, old Jazzy. She has said that, Trump supporters are mentally ill. She said, "We've got a mental health crisis in this country because everyone, no matter how you affiliate yourself, should be against Trump." You're absolutely right, Mr. Dawson. And it's funny because you mentioned that clove didn't really work for me. The first couple times I used it, it didn't work all that great for me either. But I put some essential oil, clove essential oil, into a uh, fractionated coconut oil, and that really made a huge difference. Don't ask me why. I have no clue why. And hello, Tim. We're happy to see you. Welcome. Um, drops. Oh, that's funny. Um, Jazzy also, she's just been real vocal this week, which we gotta love, because sooner or later, as I said, she's gonna blow herself and the party up even more. She doesn't feel safe at all after the Minnesota shootings, which I'm not gonna get into a whole lot. Obviously, this dude was a Wacadamia nut, and, let's just say that thank God it wasn't worse than it was. Um, Aftershock, it's pretty bad. In the past, I've actually taken tequila, put it on a cotton ball, and put it into my mouth, but I'm not doing that this time. But anyway, hello, Mission. I'm glad to see you. Happy Friday to you. Um, anyway, so yeah, Jasmine does not feel safe at all after the Minnesota shootings, but she blames Trump for it. She said, "While we spend millions upon millions just so this guy can go and golf, or while they spent 45 million for his little birthday parade." Um, that was actually a whole lot more than just his birthday parade, sweetheart. And it's kind of funny we don't have these same issues in other states than Minnesota, where Tampon Tim is in charge for the moment. So maybe she should look into the governor of that state. I just seriously doubt a lot of these other exactly, Captain. Yeah, thanks, Drops, because yes, Jasmine is pretty raunchy all on her own. And Carolyn Levette, who I'm still kind of on the fence about. Um, Not one of my favorites. I would have loved to have seen Dana Perino go back to the job because I love her. But anyway, and she's just so classy. But anyway, Karen Levette hopes Jasmine Crockett continues to be a rising star of the Democrat Party because she said, "My personal hope is they let her keep rambling and saying the crap she does because she will try to become a leader of the party." So, Mark Cuban apparently turned down the VP offer from Kamala, which would have been interesting. Would have been very interesting. But he said that he was asked to submit vetting materials for vice president. But he said he's not good at being number 2 and joked that he would have been fired in 6 days. Speaking of ex people that were in the Capitol, Big Mike's in the news again. Michelle Obama says she's glad she never had a son. She said, "I'm so glad I didn't have a boy because he would have been a Barack Obama." No, I don't need to join Space Force, that's for darn sure. Um, I don't know if it's more than that. I am so glad you wash your lawnmower off, Mission. I wash mine off, and I get crap about it. "What are you gonna wash it for? You're just gonna take it um, and mow the lawn again and get it dirty or mow the yard again." And I'm like, "Dude, I paid big bucks for this lawnmower. You damn right I'm gonna keep it clean." Um, "No, you're fine, Drops. You didn't say anything bad." Um, yes, exactly, Captain. You definitely have to make sure it cools first. But yes, I always wash my lawnmower off. And he thinks that I'm crazy for doing it, the producer. So anyway, so yeah, she is glad she didn't have a boy because he would have been a Barack Obama. I guess tensions are really high in that marriage or whatever you want to call that. Um, so uh Assaults on ICE agents have increased 500%. This is BS, and it needs to be stopped with these mostly peaceful protests, bullshit things that we're hearing about. Today, the Department of Homeland Security released new data revealing that ICE law enforcement is now facing a 500% increase in assaults while carrying out enforcement operations. Not good. But interestingly, I like to call her Big Mike. It, him, whatever it is, Drops. Big Mike. Uh, Eric is not on the Space Force, Handy. I mean, he could be, I guess. I don't know, but he wouldn't admit it. Let's see. A poll shows this is interesting because it's a Harvard poll, a Harvard-based poll. So you know that they tried and tried to find people who would lean the way they wanted them to. But a new Harvard poll finds 80% of Americans back deporting criminal illegal aliens. Majority support ICE, Trump's National Guard deployment, and local police aiding federal agents. That had to have put them in the Space Force. Just burn their asses because obviously Harvard is not a huge fan of the current administration. Oh. Well, could be, Eric, yes, although some of those dresses Big Mike wore, he must be very good at tucking, um, or they had things hiding everything. I don't know. I think we're getting set up for the 2 of them to come out, à la France and, that strange situation. I think that they will be coming out about some things sooner rather than later. Excuse me, and if she throws enough shade on him, I think that he will come out well, I don't know if he will or not. I don't know if he will come out and say that Big Mike is Big Mike. I don't see him wanting to France is not gay, no, Bramley. However, Macron and his, wife Bramley. That was funny and hilariously British in your humor. Um, he might, Eric, he very well might. Um, but it's pretty hard to fool somebody when you marry them and expect to be having relations with them. And they were together from college on, so I don't see, uh yes, Mikhail, Candace supposedly does have the goods on that. I haven't seen her much lately, Candace Owens. Haven't seen her much lately. But anyway, yeah, so Macron and his wife, supposedly, the wife is actually a man and actually began grooming Macron when he was underage, to become what he is today. That is what the story is. Hi, Steve. Good to see you. Hello, hello. Welcome back. So, um, this is kind of funny. Rick Stengel, who apparently is an MSNBC analyst. Didn't know they were still in business, but anyway, and he is a former Obama official. He questioned why the U.S. is aligned with Israel rather than Iran, which he called the most Western nation in the Middle East. Even though Iranians, you know, chant "Death to America," they also love American movies. Well, isn't that great? Um, so yeah, he said that Iran is the most Western nation in the Middle East. I beg to differ, and Israel is our only foothold in that same area. So I'm just hoping that Trump keeps us out of all of it. Eric said, Candace is maybe she's gotten more grumpy. I don't know. I find that exactly, Eric, they were under the Shah before the Ayatollah. Um, anyway, going back to Candace and just in general, people just seem to be more grumpy. Even the right is more like attackish and the left is more attackish. It's I don't know what it is. I'm not sure what it is. But anyway, um, I have no idea why, and I don't like it. I used to listen to Michael Savage, and I liked him at first, but then he got more and more, not bitter, but just more like attacking. He wants to attack everybody, and I just couldn't listen to him anymore. That was years ago. Um, I don't even know if he's still on the air anywhere. Um, Levin sometimes does the same thing. If I listen to him on the radio, he gets screamy. Um, it's something, Mr. Dawson. I'm not I guess that may be what it is. Um, well, the problem, Eric, with them rising up, with the Iranian people, rising up, and I looked into this because 'cause I'm like, "Why the hell are they putting up with this?" Apparently, whenever they start to protest or start to whatever, they turn their water off completely, so they have no water, and then they shut down all the stores, and they stop any deliveries from coming in, and they basically starve them out or lay siege to the people. Besides all the other crap they do, the horrid, horrid stuff, they actually lay siege to the actual people of the cities, and that's when they give in because they are not gonna sit there and watch their children or whoever die, because of their beliefs, unfortunately, and there's nothing you can do about it, so, yes, aftershock it is nice to see the right pushing back, but, um, I wish how do I say this? I wish yes, it has, Mr. Dawson. I wish that we would see more of it in, like, a Dana Perino way, if you will, where it's classy, um, as opposed to being, I don't wanna use this because it kinda went by the left, but stooping to their level. Let Whoopi Goldberg and the rest of um, the the pigsty that is The View do their thing. Um, let us, try to stay classy. Um, you're right. Yes, Eric, it is the first time that there's been criticism from the crown prince, so that's gonna be interesting. Yes, aftershock, they sure did. I agree with you. Handyman, that is strange. But hey, if she's giving you beer, that's all that matters. Um, drops, yes, they're not. And actually, Israel has put a moratorium on any information coming out of Israel from Israeli news channels or any journalism. They can't really control what happens with the other stations that are outside of their control, but they have put a moratorium on discussing any of that stuff. Um, so, you know what, Captain? The whole thing of how it all started is a big old mess, and I would have thought they could find um, a different solution, but I mean, any solution would have made somebody mad. Bramley, that was, I do believe Mossad was involved in that. Um, and yeah, that was an interesting touch. Um, here we go. All right, so little background here. I don't know if all of you recall this or remember this or anything, but yes, Mr. Dawson, it has always been a biblical war, and it will continue. And unfortunately, at this point, they're fighting over the Temple Mount because they believe that Jesus won't come back until that Temple Mount is the third temple is built. So that's a frightening thing. Um, and of course, it's not going to be given up. So it will have to mean eradication of one or the other, unfortunately. So a couple years ago, in March, there was a mass shooting. It was a horrible mass shooting in the Covenant School, which was um, it was a parochial elementary school in Nashville, Tennessee. Aiden Hale, who was born Audrey Hale, transgender man, former student of the school, killed 3 nine-year-old children and 3 adults before she was shot and killed. Okay, so there's the history. Thank you very much, Eric. Thank you. You were definitely missed last week, not for that, but you have definitely been missed, but I know that you have a whole lot going on. And so it is good to have you back. I think you weren't here last week, if I remember right. I know you weren't here the week before. But anyway, it's good to have you back. Hopefully, you will be able to make more of these live streams, even though I know you are super busy at work and with new projects, which are exciting. So, anyway, I've caught you up on the back history because we kind of get lost with all this stuff. Um, right, there we go. That's yes. Um, so the FBI has finally released that shooter's manifesto after a lawsuit has exposed that it was covered up by the Biden administration. 2 years after refusing to release it, the FBI finally has agreed to hand over 120 pages under a legal settlement, revealing that this shooter was anti white and anti family, um, which is interesting. It was the FBI under Biden's administration was covering it up, they believe, to protect left wing narratives. Interestingly, they stated at the time that this person was motivated by a desire for notoriety and media attention, and that he targeted the school specifically because it was Christian. So there you go. Thank you very much, Master. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. That was very, very kind of you. And before I forget, if anybody wants to kick out of the YouTube loop and go through another link, it is Buy Me a Cup of Coffee. And you can go there, and it's super, super easy. They take all cards. Um, and if you ever want to do that, you can do that too. The link is in every single video description and also on my homepage. Anyway. So yeah, so magically, this stuff, at least this came out. It's not very big. It's not very groundbreaking. I probably most of you didn't even hear about it. Um, but there you go. Um, something came out. Again, this is going to break your heart, but the New York City Pride Parade has lost corporate sponsors and is begging for individual donations. A spokesperson has said that 25% of the parade's biggest donors have either scaled back contributions or totally canceled their contributions. I know, please wipe away the tears so you can see what you're typing. I know that all of you are upset by that. It's a shame. I know, Eric, you're bawling there. I feel that I do. I'm probably working up a tear here. Or wait, no, that's my tooth. Um drops. At the moment, go woke, go broke. You're absolutely right. Um, bawling, B-A-W-L, bawl, as in crying, not that spelling of ball. Let's see. Oh, the UN is now getting involved. Haha, Eric. Good catch, though. The UN is now getting involved in artificial intelligence. Just what we want. Just what we want from them is to get involved in artificial intelligence. Yes. And they say, because we all take them as an authority, that the use of artificial intelligence must comply with international human rights. Yes, because they're so, wonderful about their international human rights. UN experts have called for strict global AI rules under their authority, condemning unregulated innovation and demanding compliance with vague human rights standards defined by unelected bureaucrats. Yes, Eric, they have. Hey, Rami. We were talking about all kinds of stuff. Uh, yeah, Aftershock, they have not yet recovered Bud Light, unfortunately. And I'm sure whoever that marketing director was, uh, probably still hasn't learned their lesson. I wonder if they've been hired anywhere else. DARPA, Eric, is Mr. Eric, as you have brought up, is a very, very interesting portion of our government. And if you'll notice, and I paid attention, I looked for it, there was nothing in any of the Doge information on DARPA. No visits to them or anything else. They were just left alone, apparently. DARPA has been involved with AI since the 60s. They had internet 2.5 decades before the very, very first internet came out. Um, they they have all kinds of um, hands in pies that we don't see for a couple of decades. Rami, I apologize. I will call you. Is it Mr. or Ms. Davis? Because I don't want to say your name wrong. Um, and it looks like it should be. I could say Romy. Is it Romy? If it's Romy, I can do that one. Just let me know. Uh, oh, I like that, Master. Very clever. Very clever of you. I always like plays on words and letters and things like that. Very good. Um, so, yeah, the UN is now getting involved in AI, just what we need. Um, Romy. Okay, I gotcha. All right. President Trump's Iran decision is coming within 2 weeks. You've probably heard this one. I hope that they do some research prior to making this decision because I think there's a lot of people out there who do not want to go into more than what we already are with Iran. Um, the problem is that Israel is running out of uh, counter bombs, if you will. Um, Nouns. I know. I'm working on it. Anyway, they're running low on their counter. Now, why they would publish this, I do not know because I'm sure Iran people read as well. But anyway, they're basically right now they're trying to see if Israel can shoot down enough of the bombs to outlast Iran's um, stockpile of bombs. So we'll see. Exactly, Bramley. Yes, that's why he wants 40 billion more dollars from us or whatever it is. Um, all right. Mr. Bramley, I just saw your text. That was funny. So we do not know at this point. Obviously, there was a quick presser or questions of Trump this afternoon. And if anybody's wondering, I do not know why I have it in my hand, but this is one of my hooks for knitting. And you're probably all wondering why the hell does she have that stabby thing in her hand? But it's a new one, so I'm trying to get comfortable with it. Holding it in my hand. Anyway, um, so we don't know if that will happen or not. I can tell you that if it does happen, we will now have more potential issues with Russia and China. It could be for my tooth. It would be wonderful for my tooth, actually. Look at this thing. Look at it is perfect for a tooth. But it's actually a hook when you're loom knitting. Um, no, it's not crochet. It's for knitting, but it's for loom knitting. So here, I'll show you. Um, and anybody can do this. This is loom knitting. This is what I do at night. This is what I do at night before I go to bed. Sorry, guys. Um, and you just hook it. You hook it on these little notches there. Um, so guys or girls can do it. I am getting loomy on you. But anyway, uh, I do it handyman. I do it like at night when I'm getting ready to I need to wind down before bed. Knitting is a very good relaxing uh, project, if you will, or thing to do prior to bed. I try to shut off everything else, um, including this and all of this, and that is what I do, kind of to unwind before bed. Um, and I go in like increments, like I'll work on that and I'll do 3 or 4 blankets and then that'll be some Christmas presents and then I'll go do something else. And for those who asked, can't remember if anybody who asked is in the room. However, um, I am still working on the book. I'm about halfway through with it, finally, having had to revise and change a whole bunch of stuff. Doing this for yourself when you are having to figure out margins and all that stuff is a lot. easier than, or a lot harder, I should say, than when you just type up a manuscript and hand it to someone and have them publish it, but they don't do that anymore, unfortunately. You've got to be, a bigwig. Um, and so uh, it is difficult to make sure that you've got, all your margins where they need to be and your bleed and all that stuff. So, um, Eric, I actually read a lot as well, if you couldn't tell from over there. That's my overage on books. Um, but anyway, so just so you're aware, we will know within 2 weeks whether or not we're going to uh, get more involved in Iran. We'll see. I don't like the fact that they're trying to say that they do have nuclear capabilities already, but then other people are saying, no, they don't. So I feel like almost like this is a reprisal of Bush one's uh, dragging us into war in the Middle East. And I don't like that. And so I'm hoping that he chooses yes, exactly, Mr. McHale. There you go. I'm hoping that he chooses the more political option of attempting to reason with everybody first. But we shall see. Um, I think that going in there ourselves should be the very, very last resort, the very last resort, because as Drops just said, they're already getting help from China and probably Russia. So I think that we need to do everything else we possibly can before taking that route. Um, I am thankful that it is Trump in office, because if we do have to take that route, or any other route, he is going to be the one to do it. And he does have a lot of fear and respect elsewhere in the world, from other leaders. So they will take him more seriously than, say, President Biden. Bless his heart. Yes, she did, Mikhail. I saw that too. And Trump was not too happy about Tulsi's comments. Let's see. 62% of Democrats, in a Reuters Ipsos poll, which also is not exactly loving the Republicans, say they agree that the leadership of the Democrat Party has to be replaced with new people. Well, goodbye, Schumer. Goodbye, Pelosi. Goodbye to all of you. They really do. They need to do something. They're getting to be an embarrassment, unfortunately. Um, so here we go. Doge's financial audit of U.S. aid. Remember, the Democrats screamed and cried that thousands were going to die without its funding. Well, 4 men, including a government contracting officer for the U.S. Agency for International Development, or USAID, and 3 owners and presidents of companies have pleaded guilty for their roles in a decade-long bribery scheme involving at least 14 prime contracts worth over $550 million in U.S. taxpayer dollars. So they got busted. Dawson can do it all. He can. Eric can too. All right. So on that note, might be a little shorter tonight because my tooth is not happy. Bernie is still a thing. Yes, Bramley. He's around. He and AOC were making the rounds. I don't know for what reason before the protests. Exactly, aftershock. Can you imagine how horrid? Actually, wouldn't be horrid. Israel would have already been taken over by Iran, and then they would have come over here and taken us over. So, um, yeah, he was active during the No Kings, but I don't don't see Eric there beforehand. Sorry, I'm babbling at myself. Trying to keep up with all y'all's chats. Um, so on that note, we're talking about Nebraska tonight. Handyman, you are never, ever, ever well, you can, but don't ever set foot in the state of Nebraska. Just letting you know right now, don't go to Nebraska. You will be in jail probably overnight. I mean, within a day. Um, let's see. Nebraska, burping in a church during service or sneezing is considered a misdemeanor, and you can be cited for it. Selling donut holes on Sundays is technically illegal. Yeah, handyman. I would say so. I think a lot of people in this room are very, very, very um uh well equipped to handle um SHTF or any other emergencies. I would think a lot of the people in this room are. Thank you, Aftershock. I appreciate that. Tell Miss Hummingbird, have a good weekend. And thank you, Master Blaster. Um, barbers in Omaha cannot shave the chests of their client. That's what I was thinking, Captain. I was waiting for someone to say it. I was waiting for someone to ask. I do not know if it's also a misdemeanor or if it's worse. I'm not sure. Um, it is illegal to go whale fishing in the state of Nebraska, even though it's a landlocked state, but okay. Um, people with contagious diseases cannot use drinking glasses with other people or eating utensils with other people. In Waterloo, it is mandatory for bar owners to prepare a pot of soup if they're serving beer. I think that goes back to days when people would get um, drunk as hell. Well, thank you, Handyman. Here we go, Handyman. Drinking alcohol near fish ponds is strictly prohibited. Prohibited. And barbers should not have stinky breath. They can't eat onions between 7 a.m. and noon. Hotels are required to provide clean, white cotton nightshirts for their guests. I wouldn't want one. Condoms can only be sold by doctors in Nebraska. Uh, could be, Eric. I don't know. I didn't see that law. Um, in 1989, they enacted a law that you're not allowed to be ugly in public. You cannot be ugly in public. Any person who is diseased, maimed, mutilated, or in any way deformed so as to be unsightly or disgusting, or an improper person to be allowed in or on the streets, highways, thoroughfares, or public places shall not therein or thereon expose himself or herself to public view. It's there, Captain. Just got to Google it. As a matter of fact, I find a lot of this stuff on attorney websites, interestingly enough. Yeah, nope, no donut holes. Hello, Brian. Hello, happy to have you. Um, you cannot ride a horse at more than 6 miles per hour in the city limits of Lincoln. Mr. Dawson, you need to remember that one. Nebraska law prohibits people with STDs from getting married. So, can't get married if you have an STD. You cannot spit on any sidewalk, crosswalk, upon the walk, steps, approaches, or stairway leading to any public building or place of public gathering. There you go, Bramley. No worries then. And in Omaha, it is against the law to hide a chicken in your pockets when entering the city. So you never have to worry about asking somebody, is that a chicken in your pocket or are you just happy to see me? Because you're not allowed to have a chicken in your pocket. with these with this herpes, I would, yes. Ugh, anyway, on that note, I will let you all know if my, carpenter friend and I can get everything done in time, or if not, I'll let you know either way. I will post that on the page. I will be putting out another video in the next couple of days. Hope you liked the last one. And I will also be adding to the videos on the herbal page. I have been lax about that, but my last video has been kicking ass. It's still going. And if you post something when that one's still going and kicking ass, then you kind of suck some of its thunder away from it. So, anyway, I hope you all have an amazing summer solstice night and weekend. There's a meteor shower coming up next week. I'm not sure what day though, but y'all might want to look into that if you are in a place where you can see it. And I hope you all have a very, very blessed. Thank you guys. Can't get a dental appointment till the 2nd of July. So I will be dealing with this until then. But anyway, thank you all very much. I hope you all have an amazing weekend. And thank you for everybody else who joined. And everybody stay safe. Bye.